Thank you for joining us today for Buying Legal Counsel's podcasts on social impact and sustainability. My name is Pam Cone, and I'm the founder and CEO of Amity Advisory, which is a consultancy in social impact and sustainability focused on professional service firms. I'm so pleased to have with me today Nathan Darling, who's the Chief Business Development and Marketing Officer at Beveridge Diamond. Welcome, Nathan.
Well, thank you, Pam. Glad to be with you virtually.
Yes. And Beveridge Diamond is clearly a leader in this space, one of the law firms that is really out ahead of the rest of the industry. So I would love to start there, Nathan. Tell me how and why Beveridge Diamond is so far ahead of others when it comes to law firm sustainability.
Well, thank you. And I think the answer to that is really found in who we are as a firm. You know, we focus our practice on environmental law. That's really the significant majority, if not all, of what we do. And we do that in regulatory compliance, in transactions, in litigation, in the US and throughout the world. And that's always been the focus of our firm since we were founded in the early 70s by some of the members, the earliest members of the environmental law movement is probably not the right word, but at the very genesis of environmental law in the US, Bill Ruckelshaus, the first EPA administrator, Henry Diamond, who was the New York State, the first commissioner of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, and others. And we've never wavered from that focus. And so it's really only natural that because of our practice, advising some of the world's largest corporations and large cities as well on these issues, that we have taken up the mantle of sustainability for our own operations.
Excellent. And I understand that Beveridge Diamond is and was an inaugural member in the law firm Sustainability Network. There's another podcast with Gayatri Joshi, who's the executive director there, as you know. I would love for you to share with us Beveridge Diamond's role with the law firm Sustainability Network.
Well, again, you're right about that, and thank you. I will not take full credit, even partial credit for that. Really, Dan Cranen, who's our principal in our New York office, was the driving force behind our participation as a founding member of LFSN, as was Nadia Wagner, who's our New York office administrator, and she's been a vital tie through the Association of Legal Administrators in that effort. But when that got going, I think we quickly realized that it was important because while there had been prior efforts like the ABA EPA Law Office Climate Challenge that addressed sort of pieces of the sustainability topic, there was not a holistic metric or set of guidelines for the legal profession as there are in other industries. And I think what LFSN has done a great job of is map that out, mindful that law firms, frankly, as an industry, do not have some of the environmental footprints of other industries, but yet we have them. And certainly on the other aspects of sustainability, including human rights and living wage issues and healthcare and all the things that are folded in. So we were pleased to be a founding member of that under Dan's leadership. Dan is the president of LFSN, and that's really grown. And I think we've not even seen the full potential for LFSN yet as an entity in the legal world. We've also seen clients asking us more and more about what we are doing as they have their own efforts. And I know that's near and dear to the purpose of this podcast for the Buying Legal Counsel, is how can we support our clients' efforts, our clients' own efforts in sustainability, and do what we can to reduce, whether it's the carbon footprint or water use or all the other things that we're talking about. LFSN is just the latest, of course, in a long line of work that we've done over the years. As I mentioned, we were an early member of the ABA EPA Law Office Climate Challenge. We have for a long time been involved with the Environmental Law Institute, given our practice focus, and we have leadership in that organization. Also, a good number of our lawyers have done other great work on boards, including the World Environment Center Board, the Chesapeake Conservancy, and numerous others. Also, most recently, we're pretty excited about this, I think the name right here, Lawyers for a Sustainable Economy, an effort of Stanford Law School. That came out last year, where a number of law firms have made significant pro bono commitments to the sustainability topic, and we are one of those. And we just actually doubled our commitment to make pro bono legal services available to these sustainable business causes by next year. So we tried to be part of all these efforts because they, again, are very central to who we are as a firm, and we believe strongly in the cause and want to support our clients in their own efforts.
That is so wonderful, and I'm so excited about the Lawyers for Sustainable Economy, because to me it's putting using lawyers' highest and best skills to help address and help sustainable companies be successful, which is absolutely needed for our future. What about other trends you're seeing in the industry, either on the sustainable side or on the legal industry side? Are there growing concerns and growing participation of other law firms that you're seeing?
Generally speaking, yes, in all the areas that we've mentioned. I mean, I think it, as again, it sort of began with, saving paper. Lawyers as famous tree killers is the old saying. How can we save paper? How can we save energy? Law firms using green building spaces, either building their offices to U.S. Green Building Council or other standards, or leasing spaces that are in buildings that are certified green. But then again, likewise with energy consumption and emissions, travel. Up until COVID-19, lawyers were the typical, get on an airplane and go to see clients, both for doing the work and for winning the work, which is not sort of my area. And so significant emissions from air travel were a part of the mix, and also events, looking for ways to hold events more sustainably. So while some of those things have been sort of on pause during COVID, it's going to come back at some point for sure. It's not going to go away. And so we'll need to keep up the progress on those. And so that whole bundle of maybe operating things you could think about is just going to accelerate and continue. And I think we're going to add on to that all the things you're seeing now in the other aspects of CSR and sustainability, the human rights aspects, living wages, access to justice, access to health care. And from what I've seen, frankly, law firms have always been, in many respects, leaders in that area. I mean, lawyers are guardians of justice. They're keepers of the law. So we already have a leg up in that, and not just environmental law firms, but every law firm should be in a good position to do that. But I think you're seeing now, and we'll keep seeing, lawyers playing a unique role to implement many of these things and make sure that they stick, quite frankly. Even a corporate securities law firm that advises companies on their disclosures on sustainability topics, and getting into the details on, can the company prove what it's doing? And so it's not just empty talk, but that it's walking the walk. Those are all legal questions. And so there's a real role for lawyers there that will keep going, I believe, into the future for sure.
And that just touches on something that I often say, is that lawyers shouldn't be at the table. They should be at the head of the table, leading this evolution in all of the areas that you talked about, which is so prevalent in society right now: racial justice, access to healthcare, access to justice. I mean, if not us, then who, right? Lawyers need to be leading this evolution.
Absolutely. You remind me, when you said seat at the table, the Association of Corporate Counsel has an effort going under Vita Richardson's leadership. I think it's called the Seat at the Table Initiative. And their 2019 Chief Legal Officer survey focused on sustainability and asked them specific questions about the Chief Legal Officer's role and the legal counsel function's role in sustainability. And the answers were quite compelling. I don't have the exact facts at my fingertips, but it was a significant majority, of over 80% of chief legal officers had some or significant responsibility for sustainability in their operation, but that there was work to be done, because I think they sit alongside of chief sustainability officers, the corporate communications function, the board, the senior executive team. So as always, as you say, it's getting that seat at the table and being a leadership voice to make sure that the promises that the company makes are true and legally defensible. And then, of course, the role of outside lawyers, law firm lawyers like those in my firm who help companies with all of that stuff. We're just seeing I won't say the beginning because these are not new concepts, but I think we're seeing a renewed interest, and we'll see an increase going forward.
Yep, I think so too. It reminds me of everyone's referring to the new normal. I hope that we will be anything but the normal. I don't want to go back to normal. I want to use this as an opportunity to do better and make improvements. In fact, there's a trending hashtag, Build Back Better. And if you look at that, there's all sorts of things that companies and governments and NGOs are doing in order to make sure that when we get back to post-COVID life, that it will be better and more sustainable than what we had before. We've learned our lesson, I hope. Thank you so much, Nathan. This has been incredibly enjoyable. I'm so impressed with what Beveridge Diamond is doing, and you clearly are a leader for other law firms in this space. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Again, it's not me. I work with literally the best in the business, all the lawyers here at the firm and staff too, who have played a key role in our own efforts. So thank you for the compliment. We're pleased to do what we can.
Thank you.